Good evening. This is Maggie Wolken with EDL 856 Module 10, a new role for parent organization. Tonight I will be role-playing a principal who has found herself in an exciting position within a case study. I will have to decide what the role of a parent organization is for my community and school. In Section 1, I will summarize the case and establish facts. I will explain who is involved, what happened, and what did not happen. We will then look at when and where it took place. As previously stated, I am the principal within this case study. Some other important people are faculty, students, and local parent organization, formerly known as the PTA. We are still determining how many members are active in the new parent organization. However, we do know that the leadership team has been established for this organization, including one designated as the president. It is worth noting that the president is a young attorney from the community. Here is a summary of what has happened so far. Last spring, the PTA disbanded and a new parent group was formed. The new parent group elected officers and aimed to increase parental involvement within the school system. Over the summer, I, the school principal, scheduled a meeting with the officers of the parent organization to discuss what the upcoming back-to-school night would look like. During this meeting, I discovered that the new parent organization and I did not see eye to eye. Regarding this back-to-school event, past practices were working well. I really felt we would just put plans into place and move forward as we had in previous school years. The leaders of the parent organization did not feel the same, and they wanted to see significant changes. They felt the previous way of doing things caused parents confusion instead of helping them understand the educational process. They thought it was important to increase the opportunity for parents and staff to engage in conversation and to learn about things taking place within the classroom. They proposed that all teachers spend 5 consecutive nights at the school building to foster and build positive relationships with the parents. During these 5 nights, teachers would take turns presenting to the parents on the subject they taught. On the evening they were not presenting, the teacher would be present in her classroom to conference with parents about the learning process. On top of the back-to-school week, the parent organization proposes that they would be actively involved in the decision-making and policy-making processes. They informed me, the school principal, that they had already put together committees that would address issues related to discipline, teacher performance, curriculum, school evaluation. They also mentioned that they wanted parents to be able to observe within classrooms, collect data, and then make proposals on what they felt needed to be changed. Let's now discuss what did not happen within this study. One thing that the parent organization forgot to do was seek out other stakeholders. They did not visit with teachers, the building leadership team, or even myself, the building administration, prior to forming any proposals that they were going to propose during this meeting. The case narrative did not explain where and when the incident occurred. But we know that the new parent organization met over the summer in order to vote in officers and vote in a president. We also know that they met long enough to develop a proposal to submit to me during our first meeting. That first meeting took place in my office. As the building principal, I find it surprising that the new organization demands so much on my classroom teachers. I was already confused why they had disbanded the PTA, but now that they want teachers to stay at school outside of the school day for multiple days. They also want to observe in classrooms and be part of the evaluation process. I feel very much as though they are overstepping their boundaries. However, I must stay positive and let them know that I value them and their willingness to get involved within the school community. The parent organization group is hopeful that I will agree with their proposal and support them in their efforts. However, they might need help understanding why I am not on board with it. Right now, I am unsure if anyone else is aware of this situation, so they do not have anything to say about it just yet. As a building principal, there are several important factors that I need to think about before moving forward. First of all, I need to think about how can my decision affect the current and future success of and well-being of each student. Students do benefit from increased parental involvement. However, we do not want the building to feel the adults within the school building to feel as though they are being treated unfairly. I want my staff members to feel that I support them just as much as I support the parent organization. Our families diversely engaged in strengthening their learning in and outside of the school. I see value in finding ways to get all families involved in their children's learning, both in and outside of the school. It is just important that there are many ways to get parents and community members involved in activities that benefit the school improvement. How should I, the school principal, communicate when advocating for needs of the school and the community? It is important that I myself, the school principal, communicate with multiple forums to reach out to stakeholders to ensure that important information is conveyed to them appropriately. Legal and ethical issues. When reading through this case study, I began to think of some legal violations that were happening immediately that came to mind. FERPA, Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. If I continue to let the parent organization move forward with their request, I will be in violation of this because the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act protects my students' records and data. I will also be in violation of the Protection of Pupil Rights Amendment. This amendment protects students by allowing them to opt out of surveys and data collection. When thinking of the ethical issues surrounding my community right now, parents are considered an external public and do not have the right to know about all internal happenings. Giving parents access to internal controls could actually hurt the collaboration engagement among my parents and my community and my teachers. Parents do sometimes lack professional training that it takes to know what is confidential and what can be shared. By allowing parents into the classroom to observe or evaluate the teachers could be a breach of my teacher contracts. Students may also experience an increase in anxiety by having their parents in the classroom observing and evaluating them during the school day. Synthesis of what happened. While they may have started their proposal with good intentions, the parent organization has gotten carried away with their expectations about the amount of involvement they can and should have in the decisions and policies of the school. Missing facts. There needs to be more information added to the case study. Here are some missing facts that I need to know to better assist me in solving the issue at hand. How is my staff feeling? What is the well-being of my staff members? Are they feeling judged, or are they feeling supported by the parents and the community? How much time is my staff willing to commit outside of their contract workday? Is there an underlying conflict between the parents and the teachers that has caused the discontent and affiliation within the PTA? How do my students feel about their parents potentially getting more involved with important decisions and policies at their school? Were all parents invited to participate in the organization, and do they all feel that it is okay for other parents to be observing classrooms and looking at data for each classroom setting? Now let's talk about the place that this case study is taking place. Is the school diverse? What is the organization of this school? What age group are the students within this school? What is the community like? What is the location of the school? And what are the demographics of the school and the community all come to mind to help me solve this problem at hand? I will need that information to move forward. When thinking about the programs that are within this case study, I would like to know, is the academics within this school weak or solid? Are there extracurricular activities that my students can participate outside of the school day? And if so, are my staff members involved in these extracurricular activities? How are the community partnerships? Is there a transparent communication with all stakeholders? How have the back-to-school nights previously been? What was the attendance like at those nights? And how are the other family involvement activities throughout the school calendar? Are they heavily attended, or are they heavily throughout the calendar? I will now take a moment to review and prioritize the information that I do know by answering some focus questions related to this case. In what types of situations can families and community stakeholders be helpful? They can be helpful by providing for the physical, academic, social, and emotional needs of all students. They can volunteer at school functions. They can teach or mentor students by providing them with skills that will help them in their future careers and lives. What strategies are effective for communicating school and student success to families and the community? We need to be sure to be communicating through emails, newsletters, social media posts, and award ceremonies. How can I, myself, the school leader, involve families in decision-making about their children's education? I will need to invite parents to take an active role in their child's learning process. I will need to develop protocols and procedures for effective parent-teacher communication and collaboration opportunities. What strategies can I, as a leader, use to communicate with parents and the community when English is not the primary language, or when many other languages are spoken? I will need to look at my budget and hire interpreters. I will need to ask my students to relay information on to parents through messages. I will also need to provide written communication such as letters, emails, and texts instead of only offering oral communication. What criteria should be considered in developing programs, committees, or activities included in the community? We need to always ask ourselves, will they provide valuable input? Is it legal to share this information with the organization? And how will their involvement affect student success and well-being? How can the community be helpful in identifying and supplying resources for the school and the school's program? Community members can assist the school district through financial assistance. They can offer their individual knowledge and expertise, and they also have access to goods and services that help meet physical needs for teachers throughout the school day. Let's look at my options and plans. I have 3 options that I can move forward with. The first one would be to take no action. I would comply with the wishes of the committee members by approving the wishes of the parent organization. I would allow them to do everything that they asked to do. I could also dismiss the group from my office and let them know that their request is not acceptable and will not be tolerated. Or I could educate the committee members. I can communicate the legal and ethical issues involved with the proposal and suggest that we work collaboratively together to develop ideas that engage diverse families to strengthen student learning. Let's evaluate our plan. There are 4 questions that we need to ask ourselves when thinking about which option we should take. Question 1 is, does it promote the well-being of students and adults? Does it collaboratively engage diverse families? Does it collaboratively engage and cultivate relationships with diverse community members? And does it allow you to advocate the needs of the school and the community? When looking at all 3 of the options that I have, I feel that the only one that answers all 4 of those questions with a yes is option 3, educate the committee. Option 2, by dismissing the committee in my office, would only allow me to advocate the needs of my school and community. And option 1, by carrying on and allowing them to do as they please, would only collaboratively engage diverse families. Let's look at the pros and cons that these options would lead to. Some of the pros would be that it would provide more time to come up with an appropriate response. I would be following all laws, policies, and contracts, and I would have heard the parent group. Some cons would be that the members of the parent group might get impatient with me. BLT members, especially teachers, may feel disgruntled and not willing to be cooperative. We might not have a concrete plan in place very quickly. When developing my plan, I had to make a decision. So I went through the steps of a decision-making process. I identified my problem in section 3 when I provided my synthesis of the situation. During the summary of this case, I was able to determine the background information pertaining to the case. My overall goal is to promote the current and future success and well-being of each student and adult. I will need to visit with my district leadership team and building leadership team in order to move forward with educating the committee. During section 6, I was able to share several options to solving this problem. Section 7, pro and con table, allowed me to analyze each option. While analyzing each option, I was quickly able to eliminate option 1 and 2. At this point in time, I feel I am ready to make my decision. The best option is to educate the committee members. I will need to communicate the legal and ethical issues involved with the proposal and suggest that we work together collaboratively to develop ideas that engage diverse families to strengthen student learning. Some pros to this decision will be to allow me time to come up with the appropriate response. I will follow all laws, policies, and contracts, and I will hear my parents. Some cons will be, after educating the committee, there may still be committee members that do not agree with me. When putting this plan into place, I will research parental involvement trends, reasons parental involvement matters, and review current policies and practices. I will need to reach out to others. I will contact my district superintendent, Board of Education, and building leadership team. I will hold another meeting. I will need to invite leaders from the parent organization and each member of the building leadership team. I will thank them for their support and share my research with the entire team. Once they have realized that there are ethical and legal surroundings to their proposals, we will then begin to develop a mission and vision statement by collaboratively working together. We will then need to schedule a community forum to engage families and communities to advocate for the school and community. This will allow me to gain information from all stakeholders and provide a time that all parents will be able to be involved in the input. In order to implement my plan, I will need to utilize oral, written, and digital means to communicate with all stakeholders. I will inform the building leadership team of the meeting and what the plan of action will be. I will need to let them know of the proposal that the parent organization team proposed to me. I will need to be careful in doing this because I don't want there to be any discomfort between my parents and my teachers. I will share the community forum on the school website. I will follow up with a survey to all stakeholders, including those that did not attend the forum. I will schedule a second meeting with the parent organization to review information that was collected from the forum and the survey. At this time, we would start collaboratively to develop a plan that meets the needs found through the survey. We would also be developing a mission, vision, and goal for the parent organization. We would create an action plan to reach that goal. Discuss the back-to-school night. We will need to discuss this as we are getting way too close to this night. We are going to have to go ahead and move forward with how we have done it in previous years. It will be a goal for this school year to discuss how we can add to it the next year in order to make it more comfortable for all parents involved. After creating the mission, vision, and goal for the parent organization, I will need to present it to my district office, to my teachers, and my parents. I will listen to their comments and make any revisions as needed. I will then finalize and publish the vision, mission, and goals by sharing it with the parents, teachers, Board of Education, students, and all other stakeholders through oral, written, and digital communication. We as a parent organization, BLT team, and myself as the building leader will continue to meet monthly to make sure that we are planning a plan that is meeting all the needs and goals for the parents, the students, and the teachers. What happens if there is still not an agreement? Parent organization might refuse to collaborate with me. If this happens, I will need to schedule a meeting with the superintendent and myself. I will need to possibly involve district lawyers to help me create a better way of understanding for my parent organization surrounding the legal issues of their proposal. We may have limited family engagement. The evening of the parent forum may not have allowed too many parents to attend, so we may need to send out a survey to gain dates that work best for families. Who will need to know about this plan? I will need the parent organization, community members, teachers, parents, district office, and Board of Education to all be part of the mission and vision and goals of the parent organization. When we are all on the same page, we can collaborate together and communicate among each other to do what is best for each and every student within my school building. If my plan does not work, I will need a backup plan. My plan B would be to find ways to organize and budget for family engagement. Have teachers assist with family engagement events. This could be with a supplemental budget. And I will need to continue to build a relationship with the parent organization team. If they do not accept my proposal, I will still need to build that relationship in order to move forward and hopefully be on the same page in the future. Thank you for your time.